On this channel, I often get asked, once you've used a VPN to connect to a geo-restricted website and you're streaming BBC or NBC or ABC or the US version of Netflix onto your computer or laptop, how do you get it onto your smart TV? And it's quite a confusing situation, to be honest. Now, most of us have got smart TVs now, but there are a sort of myriad of options. But I just wanted to run through some of the basic ones here, and I'll concentrate more on the first two options here because they're the easiest and they work best. But I'll cover a few more that you can look up yourself through. So basically, if you want to watch movies on your big screen and you've got it on your computer or laptop, or you want to share presentations or play games indeed as well, here's some easy ways to stream to your TV. Okay, let's just start mentioning using VPNs because on my site I cover a lot of uses of VPNs, a lot of websites to access, and it does change the streaming methods that are available to you. So let me just summarize them here. So you've got your VPN working, you're connected to, say, you're sitting in the Costa Brava and you're streaming EastEnders onto your laptop, but you want it on your TV. So what can you do? Right, basically the options are HDMI. This won't have a problem with your VPN. Your VPN is installed on the computer, and HDMI just transmits audio and video direct around a cable. The VPN only affects the source's network traffic, so it works easily. Chromecast and AirPlay, which I'll cover in a minute, these protocols rely on a local network discovery, LAN Wi-Fi. So the problem with these is if the VPN on the computer isolates the device from the local network, so basically your VPN is taking your laptop or your computer off your local network, or appearing to. So basically your TV's on one network and your laptop's on another because of the VPN. You can use something called VPN split tunneling if you've got it, or you can install the VPN directly on the router, but I'll show you a quicker way of doing that. We've also got Miracast, DLNA, and which are also casting and streaming, mirroring technologies. Remember also a VPN is introduced some latency and buffering issues, so you've got to bear that in mind when you're streaming. I recommend using a really fast and cheap VPN called NordVPN, and you can get a great discount below if you want to try that out. Let's carry on. Let's cover the first one. I would really try and use this if you can. HDMI cable. It's the gold standard. It's the easiest, and you get the best quality and no lag or anything like that. So you're basically plugging a HDMI cable from your laptop or computer and into the back of your TV. So you plug your HDMI cable into your computer and TV. Newer laptops will have USB-C ports. You might need an adapter. I'll show you a picture of one of those in the middle. But if you've got HDMI on your laptop or PC, you don't need this. Select your input source. You'll go onto your smart TV and switch to the correct HDMI input. You've probably done this with other devices already. On Windows, you can choose mirror and extend to modify the display, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. It should work pretty much as out of the box to be full screen. The advantage is zero latency, maximum video quality and audio fidelity, and it works with all content. Doesn't matter what you're streaming. If you can watch it on your laptop, you can watch it on your TV as well. So there's no network requirements. You need a physical cable. That's a bit of a pain. Cable length can be an issue, and newer laptops won't have this HDMI connection, and you'll need something like this. Now, I'm not recommending this one. I've just ordered this because I've lost mine, and it doesn't cost much. This is a Type-C, remember, so you're looking at the USB type there on your laptop and to a HDMI adapter. So you're plugging this into your laptop, so you need a USB-C connector on your laptop or PC, and then the HDMI cable goes from there to your smart TV. You can see this is only £6.50. I don't know how well it works. I'm not recommending this one because I haven't tried it yet, but I'll give it a go and post something in the comments. Chromecast is another easy. If a cable is not functional or not practical, you can try this. The main issue, as with all these streaming things, is make sure you're on the same network. If your computer and TV are connected on the same Wi-Fi network, it works perfectly. So basically you connect to the same network and you cast from Chrome. And I'll show you the settings. You just go to the three little dots and find Cast, Save and Share and click on Cast there, and it will look for devices. It's not going to find anything here at the moment because this is not on a Wi-Fi network where my TV and stuff are on, but you should see a TV there if you're on the right section. Now again, it can be a problem here with a VPN because you need to establish your VPN if you're watching a geo-blocked site like BBC iPlayer or Netflix or something like that, and that means you'll get, when you try and cast, you won't find anything. Now it works well, this, but I would suggest if you're using NordVPN or a similar VPN, use, if it's got a Chrome extension. Here is mine. This is the NordVPN Chrome extension. It's completely free. Connect from that because that makes the VPN connection from the browser, and it seems to work better. You'll both be on the same network and then the cast will appear. Pause this if you want more details. I won't go through it all because you get bored of hearing my voice. Apple AirPlay works pretty much the same thing. I use this from my tablet sometimes, and again, if you're using a VPN, if you're not using a VPN and you're just watching TV or streaming normally, don't worry about that. But it's the same Wi-Fi network can be an issue as well. And there's the options there. There is another built-in Windows native solution called Miracast. Now, if you want to watch that, you'll just need to. It's built into Windows, so it's basically you have to press Windows and K, and you'll get this casting. So this is casting from Windows rather than Chrome. It's like a version of a native Windows version of Chromecast. It's not finding anything there, but again, the same issues with VPNs and stuff like that. But Miracast works pretty well, really, and it's built into every Windows PC. So just follow these instructions, really. I will probably do a video on all of these in depth, but if I go on too much, the video becomes very long and boring. So Windows PC don't need the Chromecast support. If you want to avoid network congestion, this is a good one as well. It's great for quick presentations and screen sharing, and there's lower latency requirements compared to network-based streaming. It's not network-based streaming. Important notes, not compatible with macOS, Wi-Fi direct capability on both devices. I'll put my teeth in now. And TV must support Miracast protocol, which a lot don't. Okay. Another option, which is a bit more advanced, if you want to have some sort of create some video library where you can stream to your TV from like a network storage device or a computer, a small computer you've got there. Look at DLNA. Again, it's search for Windows media streaming options and you'll find it. You can turn it on in Windows. It's great for, if you've got like a catalogue and you've got of stuff there and you just want to stream from a dedicated PC or something like that. I haven't used it for a while. I used to have it with one of my, I used to use a thing called Shield that worked really well, and that had DLNA support. So it's great if you set it up properly. It takes a while to set up and you've got to find get your media collection sorted and everything like that. But long term, it's a great option. It's been around for years, so it should be supported. You can't mirror your screen. It's actually streaming individual files rather than what's on your screen like the other options. And that's all there is to it, really. That's just a little summary of the options. And hopefully, if you want any more details there, just pause the presentation on whichever screen you want, and hopefully you'll get some help there. And thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.